Jim was there for that event. It was on November 5th, 2013. Some might know that that's the Million Mask March. That's why I wear this mask as part of Anonymous. At that day, I was open carrying my AR-15 assault rifle. Okay? You are allowed to legally open carry in the state of Ohio. Okay? And the cops came up to me and physically harassed me and physically assaulted me. They infringed upon my rights. I didn't give them consent to search, and they the sergeant that was in charge put his hand on my rifle. At that point in time, I knew he was going to do anything to put me in jail unless I gave him that rifle. So at that point in time, my rights were infringed upon. I gave him my rifle because I didn't want to go through the court system because, you guys know how that works. So I completely complied, gave my rifle, started giving him my name and everything. Well, an officer I talked to earlier in that day, he was a big open carry supporter. He's from Texas. He said that most open carry protests that go down there are actually the police supported. Well, up here it's 50-50. So he actually called that officer that was taking my name down, and he said he cleared me. So that's what I'm trying to get at, is it's all about connections with police officers. Some police don't know the law, some police do. The ones that do, you need to get on their side because they will support you, okay? There are good cops, there are bad cops, and we need to take the bad cops out of the system, and the good cops need to stand up and say that what they're doing is wrong. So I just wanted to tell my story. It's happened to me, it's happened in Columbus. This is a peaceful town, but sometimes cops do cross the line. So we need to remind them, like on today, that we are here, we have rights, and we are standing up for it. Thank you.
I'm going to talk a little bit today about the numbers. And these are the numbers that concern every single one of us. The first number I'm going to talk about is the one that everybody's been hearing kicked around, and that's the number 28. Every 28 hours, some unarmed person dies at the hand of the police.
That ain't right.
It's wrong. That's a wrong number. That's a misquote. That's the numbers from 3 years ago. As of last week, when the new numbers for 2013 came out, that number has now been moved to one every 20 hours. Early estimates for the year 2014, those numbers took a dramatic jump, and we've all seen it in the news. Early estimates on those numbers is 3 a day. That's 3 every 24 hours. Then we're going to talk about an even bigger number. The number we're going to talk about next is 68,000. 68,000 is the amount of dollars in armor, weaponry, and MRAP vehicles the city of Columbus just got from the federal government.
Right?
Because Columbus is a war zone after all. Well, I see a lot of young people here, and I'd imagine most of you came from the campus. So I'm going to tell you a little secret about the campus police also. The number they don't want you to know over there is 2. That's how many MRAPs they got last week, which brings their grand total to 3. Sitting right over there. Anybody here want to explain to me how you get an 11-foot wide MRAP up an 8-foot street known as Pearl Alley? Or any of the other streets? North Campus? This stuff is getting out of control. Well, one time here in Columbus, we had cops that lived in the neighborhoods that they patrolled. They lived there. We grew up with their kids. We went to school with them. We called them neighbor. You don't have that anymore. Columbus has become a commuter town as far as cops go. They live well outside of town. They come here, they do their deed, and then they go home. This is the same powder keg that allowed Ferguson to happen, allowed everything over there in Beaver Creek to go down, and I'd imagine when everything's looked into in a couple of days here with Cleveland, we're going to find the same stuff up about Cleveland. This has to be brought to an end. The only way we're going to bring it to an end is getting offline, getting out here and doing what we're doing today. So I want to commend everybody for coming out here today. I'm serious. Put your hands together for yourself, because this is where change happens right here. So let's all have a good march today. We're going to get things going. I'm going to bring up another speaker right now. Come on up. Here she comes.
Yeah.
Nope, just hold it and talk.
Hello everyone, I am a Columbus resident. I have been living here my entire life. I've been born and raised in Columbus, Ohio, and my name is Aiden Austin. I have had 3 separate encounters with the police. Never once have I had a weapon on me. Not one time have I done any harm, and not one time have I upset or oppressed or attacked anyone. I was walking through a neighborhood that looked a little too good for me to be walking through. I was stopped, I was questioned, I had to pull out my ID. I stopped the police officer because I saw a loose dog and I was afraid, and then I was questioned, brought home, and then my mother was questioned, and then I had to stay in the house because my mother no longer felt safe to meet me outside. I was walking with my friends, 3 friends of color. 2 were Asian, 1 was me, the other was another black kid. I was walking along with 2 other girls. Neither of them were of color, both were white girls. The 2 cops came from nowhere, and out of an alley. I guess they're undercover, searching for someone. But every single one of my friends were frisked, except for my 2 white friends, and they didn't question anything. By the time the police left, by the time the police stopped searching me, by the time I no longer felt safe. My friend was like, "Wow, I'm really glad I didn't get frisked because I have a knife on me." She had a knife on her. She could have gone to jail, but she didn't. It's okay. I'm happy that she didn't get hurt. I'm happy that nothing happened to her, but I'm upset that I had to be frisked and I felt that I was being questioned when I did not do anything wrong. The justice system is not in place to keep us safe. It is in place to keep us under control. We know this. We've seen this. Michael Brown is dead because of this. That's not the only case. I worry about my nephew's life. My nephew is 11. A boy in Cleveland was killed. He's 12 years old because he had a BB gun. Another boy in Ohio was killed. He had a child. He had a BB gun that he got in Walmart. From Walmart. He didn't even buy it. He was carrying it because he was probably planning on purchasing it, but I know the police shot and killed him as he was putting it down. The system is not in place to keep us safe. We know this now. There's more proof now than there is ever. How many people feel safe today? After knowing that a man 100 days after killing an innocent, unarmed 18-year-old boy, who feels safe now? I don't. I know no one here should. Because it's not safe anymore. I'm not comfortable. I fear for my nephew's life. He's 11 years old. I fear for my other nephew who's only 8. I fear for myself, my mother, my brothers, my sisters. I fear for all of you. I don't want this to get out of control today. And it never gets out of control. The only people who make this out of control are the people who want us to be calm and quiet. How long do we have to ask? How many times do we have to ask? We were asking with Martin Luther King. That's right. We were asking with Malcolm X. We were asking with the Civil Rights Movement. That's right. We were asking with Michael Brown. And now how many more children are dead today? This can't go on. Something needs to change. It's not for the people anymore. Not by the people or for the people. It's to keep us down. Right. There needs to be a change. There's no justice, there is no peace.
Okay. So I want to tell you guys a little bit about my reaction to what happened last night. I got a text on my phone that said John Crawford was going to Darren Wilson was going to walk free after brutally murdering an 18-year-old boy walking down the streets in Ferguson, Mississippi. And I was devastated. Ferguson, Missouri, my bad. I knew this was coming. We all knew this was coming. There's not a single person in this room who thought Darren Wilson was going to get indicted. Did you guys think that? No. We knew what was happening. It doesn't take 100 days to decide whether a man is a murderer. It takes 100 days to tell us how he is not going to go to jail. When I woke up this morning, I was shaking with anger. As I drove my car, I only wanted to fucking scream. I had to go and take a East Asian geography test. I think I did well. Might have gotten 100. But it's bullshit. What we are doing right now is bullshit. We need to wake up. We need to take over these streets. We need to get our cops with lapel pins. We need to make our streets safe for ourselves. I'm gonna lead you guys in a little chant. It's a favorite of mine. I learned it from organizers in this city, in this state. It goes. It's a call and response. Mama, mama, can't you see?
Mama, mama, can't you see?
What the law's done to me.
What the law has done to me.
Ain't no use in looking down.
Ain't no use in looking down.
Ain't no justice on the ground.
Ain't no justice on the ground.
Mama, mama, can't you see?
Mama, mama, can't you see?
What these cops are doing to me.
What these cops are doing to me.
Ain't no use in looking down.
Ain't no use in looking down.
Ain't no freedom on the ground.
Ain't no freedom on the ground.
Oh, Mama, mama, can't you see?
Mama, mama, can't you see?
What these cops are doing to me.
What these cops are doing to me.
Ain't no use in looking down.
Ain't no use in looking down.
My brown body on the ground.
Brown body on the ground.
Oh,
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 oh.
Okay. No justice, no peace.
No justice, no peace.
No racist police.
No racist police.
No justice, no peace. No justice, no peace. No justice, no peace. No justice, no peace. I'm gonna hand it off to the guy who owns this mic.
Okay, I'm back. Anybody else here want to say something today? Hold your hands up.
Oh, my bad. Sorry. We're throwing up this.
Okay, guys, I just got done talking to Columbus. What we're going to do is we're going to hang out here until at least 5:15, 5:30ish before we start to walk over there so we don't interfere with the city of Columbus. We're not going to allow this to turn into a circus where we shut down everybody during rush hour, because I think that we get the same rap that went on last night. We don't need that around here. Guess we're all a little bit excited. Got to be somebody else that wants to say something here.
I mean,
Did anybody bring candles today besides me, by the way? I put up that I was going to bring one, so I'll go ahead and I'll do this now. I brought this. There's a reason why I had us meet right here. If everybody looks up here, that statue right there is commonly known as the Peace Statue here in Columbus. I think the one thing that our city needs and that our country needs right now is maybe a little bit of peace. So I brought this to symbolically lay it there and light it for all of us, to hopefully light the way for everybody else. So Aaron, hold this and I'll go up there and light the candle for us.
You do?
thank you.
I'm going to give this off to my friend Harvey. He is 16 years old. He's going to high school down the street at the first, I forget the name of the fucking churches. But anyways, here he goes.
This morning, I woke up to a tragedy. I heard that a man who murdered a young boy is walking free. It proves that justice isn't blind. Justice sees in color. And people say that they want peace and that the riots are overreacting. I think that they want quiet and contemplate. The only way there's going to be peace if you make your voices heard. The only way that anything will get solved is if the police know that our voice is there and that there is a people there and they want change. That's all I got.
Yeah!
So, I'm so happy to see all of you guys here. This is insane. We need to do more stuff like this. We need to show that we have a presence and that we care about our rights as human beings, not just as colored people, Hispanics, blacks, Asians. Okay, all right. As Hispanics, blacks, Asians, whites, whites. We all need to stand for our rights as human beings. And this trial, like, this is ridiculous. Like, I honestly think we have a right to riot, because if we don't, then how are we supposed to stand in peace and ask for our rights, okay? Like, we need this to show the police and the people in the government where we have no say anymore. I feel like we can't go about this diplomatically anymore. We have to do stuff like this, and I just, thank you. So, yeah.
I got you.
Try to speak looking into it.
Keep yourself about that far away from it.
Okay. My name's Robert Kramer. I'm a student here at Columbus. I go Mosaic, which is a program down here. When I heard that this cop who killed someone got no charges against him, I was devastated. He killed a person, and yet he walks free, has freedoms. He doesn't do it. He has nothing. He killed a human being. Who here knows a story or has been a story where police has done something that seems so unlawful, but yet they're allowed to search you or do something to you? Who here? Yeah, over. There's so many people that had things that seem unlawful happen to them, and yet things like this, a huge case, lets a man walk free. I just don't see how that is lawful and how the government's letting this happen.
I arrived late mostly because I'm terrible with cardinal directions. I've always been sort of bad at noticing the things around me, but I'm glad to say that ever since this whole thing started on August 9th, I haven't been asleep. And in more ways than one, I think I've lost lots of sleep about this. I think we've lost a lot of sleep about this. I took work off today, so I can come here and be glad to see all the wonderful faces coming out and support. You know, the funny thing is, when I was a kid, my soul burns for justice. It still does. It still burns for justice. To the point where I thought, you know, as a small child, like 6 years old or so, I thought, man, I'm going to be a police officer when I grow up. Probably about the next year or so, I realized that being a police officer is actually a way to change things. The police officers are instruments of the law, and if the law does not uphold justice, then that law needs to be done away with. So that's where I feel like where we are today. We are in a wonderful position to start doing away with these laws that basically legalize black deaths. One of the things that I've encountered a lot is people in my life, people on the internet, asking me why I care so much, because I'm Asian, because this doesn't directly affect my community, because I'm not like those people. And all I can say is I don't understand why people don't understand that caring about things that happen in your community doesn't... It's very easy to divide. And I think it's very easy to stand apart and look down on people and say that we're not like those people. But the thing is, we are all those people. Whenever I talk about institutionalized racism here, how people suffer, I always say it's me. I may not directly suffer, but I'm still part of the system that creates it. I think we all need to understand that as outraged as we are by this, we also need to examine our own place in the system. Are we inadvertently contributing to it? Because it's not just enough to raise your voice and be angry. You have to work.
Tighten up to the megaphone, a little bit closer.
Okay, sure. Yes. Thank you so much for hearing me talk. Oh, hold it closer to my mouth.
There you go.
Most people tell me I speak too loudly. Okay. I speak too fast.
It's good to be loud today.
Yes, today is the day to be loud.
I want my voice to be loud, and I want people to know that I'm not the little girl who wants to be a police officer because she believes in justice. I want people to know today that I am a grown-ass woman who still believes in justice, and I'm going to go to my grave fighting for it. So, yes, thank you very much.
Like she said, if you don't think that police violence involves you, if you hear somebody that tells you that, there's 300 examples a year at a minimum to point out, and they're every color of the rainbow. As I said, I've been involved with this stuff all the way back to Rodney King when I started paying attention. And the one that really woke me up, if you've never seen the video, go and watch it. Do not allow small children to watch it. It will ruin your day. Make sure you do not eat before you watch it. But just go watch what they did to Kelly Thomas. When you see a man handcuffed, laying on the ground, who's then beaten by a pack of police officers, laughing about it. One to the point where he literally stands up, laughs, wipes his nightstick off with a napkin, throws it on the ground, and goes back to hitting the man again while he's yelling, "Help me, Dad." That's what this is about. That's what we gotta fix. And it's gonna take all of us to do it. Who's up next? Somebody out here's gotta have something to say. I'm gonna start pointing people out. Come on up, man. Everybody has a reason to be down here. Let's all hear why everybody's down here.
One time I want y'all to say no justice.
No justice.
No peace.
No peace.
I think it's time for everybody to stop being outraged and become engaged. All right? You can still use this.